welcome back online. So, we have a basic base, but our work is far from done. We need to check out the immediate area and see what else we can use. Now, I seem to remember there being a fabricator back there somewhere. And I'm just going to close these for now. Right, now we have an airlock, we can actually leave the place properly, so... Close the inner door. Depressurize the area. Helmets on. And once that finishes, open the outer door. Notice, no pressurization. Right, let's check our scanners. They seem to be mostly in the same area. We've got I'm picking up two nodes over here, so let's head in that direction. Now we could take the Sterapes as they're only like 6 kilometers away, but it's really not that far. We might as well just EVA over there. Now remember, under constant acceleration we'll need to start slowing down at around about 3 kilometers out. Otherwise we're going to either sail past and look very silly indeed, or hit something very hard. We should have plenty of air, we've just refilled the tanks, so just don't lose sight of the outpost, whatever you do. We shouldn't do. This radar has a range of 10k, so we should be fine. We're currently travelling at 60 meters per second. Relative to this Sterapes wreckage that it's picking up over there. I like how it knows it's a wreckage. And we'll check out those on the way back. But we've got to go past them anyway, so we might as well just carry on. Okay, that's 3k, so let's start slowing down. Now if I've done this right, we should end up stopping just reasonably close to it. Let's add a little bit of upward thrust because it's going away from us. We've got a lateral speed of 28 meters per second, which means we're nowhere near it at the moment. But that's what happens when you EVA long distances like that. Okay, so... now we're within a kilometre, so let's start heading towards it. Again, we do have to slow down and we do have to slow down completely and accelerate again, because that is what happens when you misjudge the deceleration time. And that is why you should never point directly at something that you're flying to. Okay. We've managed to get there. And hopefully this will have a singularity cell detonator and a warp cell. I don't know how we managed to warp without one, but we must have somehow used whatever was left in there. Maybe that's why it took so long. So I'm going to grab that. And that's blocked, we can't get into it that way. Ooh, is that a resource injector I can see? I'm going to take that, because this ship is wrecked anyway, and is not going to be needing it. This is where the sun gets really annoying. Oh, it's on the other side, of course it is. There we are. Now, I don't know if this has gravity, so let's be prepared just in case. It looks like it does. So, a nice big bright warp cell here. Anything else we can use? Nope, nothing else. Okay, let's head back in this direction. Now, I'm picking up something else in there. I want to have a look at that derelict corridor and see if that's of any interest. Again, make sure we start decelerating about 1.6 maybe. So now, okay, that might have been a bit too early, but better too early and to drift slowly than too late and to end up having to spend all that fuel getting the other way again. Now we want to try and eliminate all of that lateral speed if we can. Okay, that's a bit better. Now, yeah, that's unsalvageable, but ooh, is that a broken panel I can see? That's going to be useful. Just have a quick scout around the outside and a quick walk through and just see if there's anything we can use. We really need better visors on these things that just completely block out the sun somehow. Super magic visors. Is that one? Yeah, shattered plating is definitely going to come in useful for that fabricator. Okay, I think that's everything we're going to find on the outside of this, so let's have a wander through here. And nope, I don't see anything of any use in here, so let's just carry on and head to the fabricator, which is less than a kilometre away, so let's not go too crazy with the speed. Now this looks to be mostly in one piece, so we can probably attach that to the rest of the station if we can find the access port. Now we are, however, out of range of its sensor, so we might have to do this visually, at least at first. Again, we might be able to, we might save a bit of time if we take the stereo Ps and tow it all the way there, but, oh well. Honestly, it's probably not gonna save that much time, if any. So, now I have a convenient marker there, so I'm just gonna rotate it roughly in this direction, and let's start it moving. Now, I'm not going to go full speed simply because this is this is going to be very difficult to slow down. So I'm just going to start drifting towards it a bit. Let's see how fast are we going. Notice how I'm actually stationary relative to this, but I'm still moving. That's moving about 17 meters per second towards. Let's accelerate a bit. In fact, while that's happening, I'm going to actually go inside this and see if there's any repairs that need doing before I actually dock it. Because I don't want to make the same mistake as last time. Yep, there is some repairing here that needs to be done. And any more? Any more gaps? Any more holes? Can't see it. Can't see any more. You sure? I don't want to attach this thing only to have it vent. Okay, so oh, yep, there's a vent I can see. I don't know what it's venting because it's got no air anyway, but so let's fix that up a bit. Quick visual inspection of the whole thing, make sure there's nothing else that I need to weld up. Okay. Okay, that's looking good. Oh wait, there we go. Just fix that up, will you? Good job you're an engineer, right? So, we are 2.1 kilometers away. And now that we're less than 3 kilometers, we can actually see, we can actually pick up the docking ports. Now the little green thing here that you can see increasing, that's your rotational variation. We want that to be green or ideally not there at all, but green is acceptable. Again, we've got a red line to the left, so we need to thrust to the right to get rid of that. And we've got a red line going downwards, so we need to thrust upwards to get rid of that. We are now should be thrusting directly straight forward relative to the station. And we can afford to increase speed a bit because we're still 1.1 kilometers away. We're now less than a kilometre, so let's slow it down. How are we doing for air? It's fine, we're good. Now, once we get within visual range, we need to make sure we are actually pointing at the proper port. Right, I think I can see it. Is that it? Now this time I do actually want to go to the right, which is why I'm increasing right thrust, so the thing can just move slowly towards the station, reduce forward speed. The orange bar now means basically it's too fast, so if I hit it at this speed it's not going to dock, it's just going to bounce off it. I need that to be green. Well, I'll need it to be green when I'm there, but I'm not there yet. Okay, that's coming in nicely. Let's just hold that position. And we have a fabricator. And I'm trying to close that hatch. Right, while we're outside, let's replace the warp core in this ship. Insert an allied core into the fabricator, which is this thing here. Okay. Right, the ship now has warp capability. But the power is off though. Safety check. Now before I do that, I'm just going to close and lock all the doors on this thing. Just in case. But I'm going to leave the airlock open. While I do this safety check in inverted commas. Again, now that we're inside, we need to pressurize. So, before you do anything else, close the outer door, pressurize the airlock, Once it gets to about 0 0.6 or 0.7, you may remove your helmet and open the inner door. Okay. This is actually a tier 2 nanite core, which means it's a civilian grade one, which means it improves the armour, but it will also last a lot longer. Now before we go into the outpost, we need to pressurize it. Into the fabricator, I mean. Hopefully, should be able to do that quite simply. Provided there are no breaches. Once that red triangle disappears, we can go through that door. It's a big room, it does take a while to pressurize. But not this long. Okay, we're on 0.8 bar, so that's nearly done. And we should be able to go in there now. Okay. Now the Fabricator is basically a mini manufactorum factory building type place, and there's actually a canister in here with some raw materials. So I'm going to see what's in this pod. Ooh, okay. What am I doing? That doesn't go there. Also, while I'm here, I'm going to rename this. For future reference, when I grow my station. This is probably going to need to go here actually, so we shall unload that stuff. Ah, okay. Actually, I think we do need to put it there, because we need to refine it, but we'll take that away while I'm at it. We can transfer cargo from here, so we can just shunt all that into there and refine. Now while that's happening, I want to grind down these shattered plates that I found. In fact, I need to power up this fabricator while I do this, otherwise it ain't going to work. Now this of course means we're using more power than we're actually supplying, which is why we kind of need some more solar panels. So I'm going to switch this thing on. We're going to put this in there. as you can see by there, we're getting carbon fibres from it. So we should now have lots of carbon fibres. And we still have some ferrite in there, so having refined that, actually, what am I doing? I can just put that straight in there. No we can't, because it cannot carry any more than that. Now that resource injector I picked up, I could use with a few more of those. So I'm going to make one. But before I make one, because the things I can make are basically here. And this is everything that you can make with what you've got. Anything else you're going to have to put into the researcher. So let's do that. Sadly, this does consume the item. However, it does mean we can now make resource injectors. That'll take about 8 seconds. As the 3D printer works away. Okay. Now let's just shunt the rest of that stuff into the fabricator. Okay, so at least we can make stuff now. We've got a fabricator, we've got an airlock, we've got air pumped into all of them. We're fairly good. Although, we're not going to be able to stay here forever and do nothing, because firstly we are going to die of boredom. You know, we are literally going to go insane. Let me just rename that. And secondly, we cannot guarantee that we'll be safe forever. Now, that woman who broadcast that message said she had some logs throughout the station, so I wonder if this is one.
An asteroid pulse. Remove some stress from orbitals 1 and 2.
Okay. You up for a little adventure? Okay, but first we're just gonna just finish up with the labelling all these rooms. No, we don't need to do that here. Actually, I don't think we need to do that at all. That'll do. So, the air filters and recycling will keep us going for pretty much forever, but... And we can always bring someone else into this pod if we need to. But in order to find out what the hell happened here, and what the hell we're going to do about it, we're going to have to investigate these 3 places that we just found in that log. So, get ready, and I'll meet you at the airlock. Bye now.